Does a video about COVID-19 present only factual and proven statements about the disease and the COVID-19 vaccines? No, that's not true. It recycles claims that have been disproven and leaves out important context. For example, the video alleges that the vaccines aren't really vaccines, that they're experimental, that certain therapies exist to prevent COVID-19 and that the PCR tests used to detect the virus are basically useless. Expert medical opinion, as well as previous debunks, refute those claims. The video was published on BitChute on May 20, 2021. Titled, "If people get jabbed after watching this they are beyond saving," it encouraged people not to get a COVID-19 vaccine. The video included a voiceover, which asked, quote, "Are you getting the vaccine? They say the only thing that'll save us is the vaccine. The government, media and celebrities are using fear to force you into something that you may not be sure about." End quote. Users on social media only saw this title, description and thumbnail. Quote, "If people get jabbed after watching this they are beyond saving, self-explanatory. Watch, share, mirror everywhere." End quote. This fact-check does not attempt to address all the claims made during the roughly 16-minute video. Instead, we are looking at 5 of the main allegations, addressing them in the order they appeared. 1. Vaccine safety. First up is the claim that the COVID-19 vaccines are not safe. The video referenced people having severe reactions after getting the shot. At 1 minute, 3 seconds, it claims, quote, "The U.S. government's VAERS database is collecting some of the reports. People are having cardiac arrest, respiratory arrest and other severe reactions. You can look up these reports for yourself. This is just a sampling. There are already tens of thousands." End quote. While it's true that there is such a thing as VAERS, short for Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, which is collecting reports, the claim is missing important context. Anyone can submit a report to VAERS. The reports are not verified and are not sufficient evidence to establish whether an adverse event, such as a cardiac arrest, was caused by a vaccine. The website for VAERS makes clear the system's uses and limitations. The site reads, quote, "When evaluating data from VAERS, it is important to note that for any reported event, no cause and effect relationship has been established. Reports of all possible associations between vaccines and adverse events, possible side effects, are filed in VAERS. Therefore, VAERS collects data on any adverse event following vaccination, be it coincidental or truly caused by a vaccine. The report of an adverse event to VAERS is not documentation that a vaccine caused the event." End quote. Lead Stories has debunked claims that exploit the government's rough reports list before. See here and here for those stories. We've also written about how it's statistically inevitable that some people will get sick and die of unrelated causes after getting the COVID-19 vaccine, a caveat not included in the video. 2. Vaccine experimental status. Next up is the claim that COVID-19 vaccines are experimental and not really vaccines. At 2 minutes, 16 seconds, the video asks, quote, "So why is the injection making people sick? Maybe it's because of what's in those syringes. It's experimental and you're the lab rat. You see, nothing like this has ever been used before. This is not a vaccine." End quote. Neither statement is true. The COVID-19 vaccines available in the United States are not experimental. They have been authorized for emergency use by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA. Here's what we've said before about the claim that the COVID-19 vaccines are experimental, and here's what the FDA says about them on its website. Quote, "The FDA evaluated data from clinical studies that included tens of thousands of people for each COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA authorized the vaccines because the data from these studies clearly showed that the known and potential benefits of the FDA-authorized COVID-19 vaccines outweighed the known and potential risks." End quote. Lead Stories has also previously debunked the claim that the vaccines aren't rightly vaccines. See here for that story. The COVID-19 vaccines clearly meet the definition of vaccine set by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, which can be read here, and states that a vaccine stimulates a person's immune system to produce immunity to a specific disease, protecting the person from that disease. 3. Vaccine effectiveness at 7 minutes, 44 seconds. The video claims the vaccines are not effective. Quote,